What's up YouTube, Stomp603 here, and today I'm going to do a review on the Gen 6 compact touchscreen powder system. It's basically a electronic trickler, if you want to call it that. This one's by Lyman, and I'm just going to read off real quick here what's on the Lyman website as far as the some of the specifications on it, and then we'll go over how to use it after that. So the compact Gen 6 design takes a minimum of bench space and offers unrestricted pan and touchscreen access for both right and left hand users. So no matter which side of the bench you have it on, you'll be able to get to everything just fine. Ambi, just like our guns, we like stuff like that. The Gen 6 dispenses all types of smokeless powder at 2 grains per second. In addition, it features an auto repeat function that drops a precise charge each time the pan is reset or put back onto the scale. Based on a totally new digital technology that overcomes problems commonly experienced by older designs, the system is packed with additional state-of-the-art improvements like fast 3-minute warm-up, I'll go over that in a minute, new anti-static and anti-drift technology, and has sophisticated electronic shielding to resist interference from other electronic devices like cell phones, etc. So before I forget, when you first turn this on, it's going to go to a 3-minute cycle where it's going to warm up the scale portion of it, and that increases the accuracy of the scale. Plus or minus 1/10 of a grain accuracy. At the time when I bought this, that was the best one on the market. They were all around 2/10 of a grain. So basically, a lot easier and more accurate than a regular traditional powder dispenser, the one mounted to your bench and you just dump the charges and weigh them and trickle it and all that stuff. A lot faster. So right now I got some Win 748 in there, and I'll show you how it works. But first, just like any scale, we're going to have to calibrate it. Oops. I gotta zero it out first. Zero. So when you do it the right way, it'll say Cal 50. Comes with a 50-gram weight. We're gonna put that on the scale and hit OK or calibrate. Not moving around, not breathing on all that stuff. Calibrates it to 60 grams. So now it's ready to go. It comes with the weight, comes with the pan, and then obviously the scale itself. So put your pan on there, zero that out, and then any powder dropped in there will be your grains. So when you fill this up, this will hold quite a bit, over a pound. And when I first got it, I was putting a whole pound in there. What I noticed is the part that dispenses actually rotated slower because of the weight of the powder on it. And then I traditionally use a ball powder. They meter a lot better. But if you're using stick powders, definitely do not want to fill it up, because those sticks, you know, they're like little rods. They'll get jammed up in there, and then it won't be able to turn. Sometimes you got to take it apart, clean it, put your stuff back in it, start all over. So this is not the same as a regular powder dispenser where you want to keep it full. That way it's a more consistent charge because of the weight of the powder. This is going to dispense it no matter how much is in here, and it's always going to be the same amount because your scale's out here. So we got it all calibrated. Comes with this little rubber plug, so if you're in the middle you can just put it on there and none of the stuff will fall out. And then typically I use Win 748 for 223, and I use 26 grains, so I'll show you what that looks like when you're dispensing that. So on your little panel here, you're going to input the amount of weight, and then you can just hit enter and it'll dispense that weight, and then you put your scale back on there, and then you can hit enter again and it'll do it again. Or you can use the auto repeat function, and what that does is every single time you put the tray back on the scale, it's going to zero it out, and then it's going to dispense 26 or whatever more grains that you got set up for. When I'm doing this, I have all my cases ready to go, and my press is all set up ready to seat bullets. So as it's dispensing, after it's done dispensing, I'll dump that into the case and I'll put the scale back down, and then I'll take that case with the powder in it, seat the bullet, put it back in my tray, and by the time I'm done that, there's already another charge ready to go. So when you figure out, if you look at how the your system is and the way you're doing things, it actually doesn't take any time at all to do this, no matter how long it takes to trickle it out, because by the time you're ready to dump that powder into the next case, if you're seating the bullet, I mean, it's already ready to go. So we'll put 26 grains in here, 26.0. I'll hit auto repeat, and then I'll hit enter. And there you go, 26 grains for 223. You would dump that in your case. As soon as you put the scale back, or the pan back on the scale, it's going to start knocking it out again. At this time I'm putting my case on the press, I'm seating the bullet, I'm taking the bullet, putting it back into my block, my loading block, and then it's already ready for the next charge. So you'll notice that when it's done, I'll show you after this one here, it counts how many charges you've thrown. If you're not using a loading block, which that's how I count 50, if you're not using a loading block, and this is another way to, so you don't forget, or you got to keep counting or marking them down, how many you've done. See, auto 3, so that's the third charge that it's done. So we'll turn that off, auto repeat. Just want to say this real quick. Anytime I have powder in either a powder thrower, measurer, or anything that holds powder, the hoppers for the Dillon, I always keep the powder right next to whatever I'm using. That way if you leave the room, or if you're gone for a couple days and you come back, you remember which container it came from. A lot of the powders, they all look the same, so you don't want to be mixing and matching the powders. So I'm going to get this set up, I'm going to get it turned around, and I'll show you how the feature that they use to get the powder out of it, and then I'll just show you how that part's done. Alright, so when you put this together, obviously this clear piece comes separate. Words of wisdom, do not push this thing all the way in until it seats into the bottom of this collar here, because you'll have a hard time getting that back out. You just need to put it in there enough to hold it in there, and then you fill your powder up. It ain't going to spill out or anything, but because you're going to need to take that off either for storage reasons or when you're cleaning it. So basically all my powder's in there. Rather than taking this and tipping it upside down and stuff, it's got a little trap door on the side here. So you open that up, put your container right next to it, and then open the little door. And it comes with this little brush. You're just going to work that stuff all down in through the hole in the bottom. Every little crumb counts in reloading. So once you get all the powder off this top part, just give that a little shake. Close that little door there. Close that. Then you push this little button, and this top part will come off. And then you're left with a little cube in there that holds the whole unit. It comes with this little tool here, and that's used for taking off the tube there. And it also comes with 2 seals in case they get worn out that you can replace on either side of the hole in that tube where the powder goes down into it. So what you're going to do is you're just going to, I turn this around a couple times, get most of the powder out of it. And then right here there's a hole that you use to hold it. Get this chair out of the way. And then you just spin the tube off. Pay attention to where the window is, where the powder goes in. Keep it upright so you don't spill powder all over the place. I just dump that right into my powder. And then all you're going to do on this is just push it in and it'll release. So then I use a funnel into my powder and just dump what's left in there into there. Just blow that out. Clip that back in. Put that back on. And I don't store it with this on there, but you just essentially put that back together like that. And there you go. It's all cleaned out. I don't usually leave powder. Actually, I forgot to put my tube on, but you can put that back in before you put it together. I don't usually store powder in my stuff because it discolors the clear tube there. So that's my review on the Lyman Gen 6 powder dispenser. I hope this has helped if you decide to purchase this. On Lyman's website, this was listed at $2.99. You get it off Amazon for cheaper than that, and actually, if you can get it locally through your dealers, wherever you pick up your firearms or your powder or whatever, if they got it, you can get it a lot cheaper. So there you have it. If you like the review, please subscribe. I'll have reviews on all the other stuff that I use as well. Thanks for watching.